Guten Tag, class. My name is Mike Sturkle. My partner is William Netterville, also known as Joey. And this is, well, it's the third time I'm doing this because the first time I forgot, first couple times forgot to put audio on, and the other time you couldn't even see the screen, so this was great. Anyway, let's get going for the third time's a charm. Let's see if I can wrap this up in the allotted 8 minutes. So this is our presentation on reducing the networking engineering skill gap. Now, as we know, if those of you who've done engineering and other curriculum, it's tough. It's network engineering is not an easy field. It's very dynamic with how technology is changing, with how it's implemented, with having to constantly fix areas as people find vulnerabilities, as just networks get bigger, as you have to transfer more data between sources, between people on the network, as you have to make subnets and all this kind of stuff. So networking is not easy. It's not challenging. It's not an easy field. And it's kind of some of the jokes in here. If you're not an network engineer, you just want to fix. You just want it done. You don't care how they do it. You just call up your network engineer and be like, "You need to fix this now because I need my stream. I need my YouTube." But it is a very challenging and dynamic field. And now I'll read the purpose statement of this. And the purpose of this study is to understand factors that contribute to the skill gap in network engineering for individuals new to the field and those currently working in the field, as well as to determine if modeling simulation training techniques contribute to decreasing the skill gap. So this in a nutshell is just that, is there a better way to train people who want to learn network engineering, whether they are students or changing careers? Is there a better way to train people in the field to get to a higher level of knowledge or to learn those new techniques that are coming out? And we feel that one of the ways could be M&S techniques, maybe making it in virtual environments, game-like training, simulations, maybe techniques that are more interactive with the student instead of based on what traditional teaching, which could be more teacher-centered, or teacher essentially just teaches and students listen. But this is more of students are actively involved in their learning. So here's just 3 papers we kind of chose to kind of give a little overview of the literature review that we've done that we've probably looked at over 30 papers, I would say. The first 2 are M&S technique-based papers. The first one is about making what they call a network management game, which is testing the manipulation of link weights to maximize network throughput. They got the idea from flight simulators, and through this network manager game, the authors showed positive results in being able to optimize the network better based on this training. The second one, by Ruiz Martinez et al., did a virtualization tool where you can manipulate different network settings in this tool that you could actually put on a student's computer. That way you didn't have to necessarily be in a lab or have to have all this network gear connected. You just manipulate the networks based on scenarios created. So again, another tool showing very interactive learning. And the final paper is one of a few that we picked out to read that kind of shows a mismatch between what academia is teaching and what actually industry wants or needs in their new employees and current employees. And so it's just one of the papers that kind of shows that maybe there needs to be more collaboration between academia and industry. And actually another paper we read that was written by a professor at USF has a couple classes being co-created between industry and academia to make sure the skills that are needed are being taught. And just a little side note, I actually said mismatch right this time. The first couple presentations I did, which you guys won't be able to hear because there's no audio, could not get that word out. But moving on. So here are it's actually 5 research questions that we have. First is, why is there a skill gap? And it's, how do we train engineers? How do we increase the skill of current engineers? We kind of went over the first 2. How do we create an environment that strengthens new candidates prior to the workforce? And can modeling simulation techniques be used to train network engineers? So, a couple we kind of touched on briefly of like the M&S techniques. We've kind of went over a couple that seem to have positive results, and it seems to be a viable technique. And I think the environment is one that is good to see. Are we making or make candidates wanting to get into this field and wanting to learn and giving them proper techniques to learn what they need to know? And so that's all stuff that we are looking to see if we can answer in our research. And we felt this was a qualitative research method we were going to use based on how we were trying to do this research. And the popular interest is network engineers. Data being collected from text-based sources, being like the literature, as we've kind of seen, personal experience between Joey and I, and then the experience of others in the field. And that's kind of what the paragraph below kind of just says, how we're going to do it, what we're going to look at to get this data. And it's kind of just, again, explains what we're doing. Here are the 3 hypotheses that we are trying to test by looking through our literature. First one is there's a mismatch between the skills needed in the workplace and the skills taught to workforce candidates. Second one is purpose-driven curriculum allows engineers in the workforce maintain and improve their skills. And the implementation of future network technologies, i.e. SDN, which is software-defined networking or networks, changes the skills needed in the network engineering workforce. So with the paper that we're going to write, we hope to really answer these 2 questions, be that positive or negative. And I think the second and third ones are ones that we definitely literature definitely help us explain, which is how is it's because we're not just focused on students who are new people into the workforce, also those in the workforce. How do we implement, or how can a particular training technique be implemented that allows someone who has the basic skills learn more advanced skills? And through some of the literature, we've seen that, right now, pretty much it's you go to either a class at a university or you go to like Cisco and they do their certificates. But those are all very essentially the same in terms of how it's taught. You get taught from slides, maybe a little bit of hands-on, but not much. And then you take a test. And the test may not even be relevant to your network where you work, the new technologies, because they've got to be standardized for everyone, and it's very generic. It's not really necessarily based on what you need to know or want to know. And then the last one of future technologies, this is really talking about not how we train someone, as in do we use a game-like environment or just textbooks, but is it going to change what you need to know how to do overall, because these new technologies require a different skill set or different way to actually even interact with them when they're being implemented in the workforce. This next slide is just kind of work we've done up to now. We have a lot of experience in the field. We've been using that to kind of craft what we've been doing. We have a massive literature review going, as stated inside. So we looked at probably at least 30 sources. We're trying to delve into as much as possible to make sure we're gathering enough information to make some good conclusions based on the literature. We've already have, I would say, 75% of the literature review written. We just got to go back and clean up some of the areas and make sure we have enough sources to properly back up what we're saying. We also have started on the final paper answering our questions that we have. And again, we're going to have to just go back, add some more material to that, and make sure it's properly cited, and just make sure we're answering what we needed to. And we're going to research, see what ways can we use to maybe as ways to train. And next one is kind of just what we've kind of been accomplishing in a format. And again, here are 2 deliverables, which are the literature review and the paper. And here's just a timeline of what we've been doing. We're in this week 12 right now, and shows. We continue to write because I feel like we've done a lot in terms of researching what we need to do. We're going to keep doing that. Oops. And then the week of November 26th, which is, well, right after Turkey Day, I'm going to be going to ITSEC, or at least the plan is right now to go to ITSEC. So hopefully I can see some of you guys there. And then we're get ready for the final exam and get these presentations, the final presentation going, and get on out of here to a little Christmas vacation. So again, thank you for taking your time. Again, this is when I'd ask for questions, but not sure if you guys have any because I'm talking to myself. Anyways, if you do, we're both in the address book for web courses. So drop us a line if you have any questions that you didn't already ask Joey in class. Again, thank you.